Hello, my sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, willkommen to your psychic tarot reading with me, Natalee, spelled Natalee. Let's jump straight into it. Happy full moon in Gemini, everybody. I am recording this right on, literally it's happening like tonight right now, the full moon in Gemini crossing Mars retrograde. Whoa, how is everybody feeling? How are you doing? How are you guys riding these waves? Every month we have a full moon and they're not like this. This is kind of a special one. Mars does not retrograde nearly as often as Mercury retrogrades. Mercury retrogrades about 3 to 4 times a year. Mars does not. First energy, you know what? This is great. This is a balancing act, okay? Something is dropping, something else is coming up. And they're going to do that, the drop, the comeback up until they are both even Steven. Okay, we have the Justice to start. So look at her. Look at her. She's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm the judge and the jury. I weighed the shit and I know what I'm doing. That's what the scales and the sword of truth, the Ace of Swords, is. You weigh those scales. Okay, you take in all the information, but then you stop taking in information and make a judgment before you confuse yourself. Analysis paralysis is the opposite of this. And that'll lead you to doing nothing because you want to do the safe thing, but doing nothing is still doing something. It is still a decision. And then when you make that judgment, that's when the sword of truth comes down. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what this message is opening up for you guys. Oh, the Four of Wands. Interesting. So, home, property, real estate. You could be buying, selling, moving, moving people out, moving people in. You know, just the vibe of where you're living is changing. There could be some options, though. I feel like this over here and this over here, it's almost like a little bit, not a clash, but just trying to, like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's getting like a summer home or a second home, or, you know, maybe spending a lot of time between a couple of places with that, you know, kind of thing. There could also be things happening and changing in the home life or with the family situation, especially if like the living situation might change, like because of what family members are doing or not doing, or like whatever. It's the everything is fine, everything is fine, everything's fine. 10 of Swords. And she's in her phone too. She's like fear spiraling in TikTok during the night. Like, everything's fine. I'm in my TikTok. Everything's fine. You know, that's kind of funny. Okay, but for real, you or this person that you're connecting with, or, you know, if you're like in an entanglement with like multiple people, if this is like roommates, families, or just like stuff with like, it's not just the living situation. There's something else here. I feel like there's some other third element that's not family, it's not really friends. This almost feels like you're having your daughter's friend come live with you, or your you know, it feels like it feels sort of like that. It feels sort of like removed, where like maybe it's not like or maybe you're opening up a spare bedroom to Airbnb, where they're not like your family or friends even. They're just like, I don't want to say randos coming through, but they're kind of randos coming through. That's okay. I don't even want to get into a tangent about that. But if there's something there, there could be stress or fears that are coming to a close because you've maybe made up your mind. You've made that final judgment. You know what you think. You have enough information to be confident in your decision. But you were tweaking out. Someone here was really tweaking out about this. We're going to open all this up, don't worry. What? Ace, oh boy, we have the Ace of Wands, and then we have the Death card. Oh my goodness gracious. We have a really nice, the door closes, another one opens, okay? So whatever era or whatever big, you know, life changes are happening, whatever. I feel like you're either going to feel this, you might be the one to do this, like you might be the one to, memorialize or ritualize or ceremonialize an ending to something in order to birth this next. It's like you want to, what's that called? Usher it in. You want to usher in and welcome in this new thing, or something fresh, or something vivacious, or it's just something energetic. And so you might be more thoughtful about what you are ending and saying goodbye to. So there could be something, so maybe it's symbolic, you could be doing some things. Now, that's for some of you. For others of you that have maybe like really resisted changes and resisted, that's when things change in your life that are a little bit more traumatic. Maybe it feels like a tower moment, but it's really a death energy. Okay. Death is the enemy of stagnation. Okay. So it's like there could have been something that was stagnant because you were worried about it, because you just never really felt confident about the judgment, or you just, like I said before, took in a lot of information and was kind of this way, and then you waited, and then you took more information, and then you're like, oh no, I feel like I think this, and you waited, and then you took more information, and you're like, no, I want, kind of like that. Then this could like really be happening to you, and it's more of your subconscious projecting out the change that you really want, on that subconscious level that you consciously were just going back and forth on, and you couldn't make the change consciously. So you manifested either some big ending, or you manifested some kind. See, we're always manifesting. You're either doing it consciously or subconsciously, or both. Okay. Now, if you are not aware of your own subconscious, then that little 5% of your conscious mind is going to try so hard. It's going to do everything it can, and you're just going to manifest your subconscious. So, yeah. So for others of you, it's more of like, maybe you pine for things, or you really want things. You really want the feeling that you think that thing or those things or those people will give you. It may not really be that thing that you want, but you don't know that. You're just like, I want this stuff, I want this thing, and that's what I want, right? But your subconscious wants something even more. We're gonna open that up. And I don't know what's happening first, like this close, this ending that might catalyze this fresh start, or for some of you it's this bright fresh start that's okay. Yeah, that's over. I'm putting that away. That's over. That's done. I want to get started on this new fresh thing. So I feel like we're good there. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. I love this one so much because her sweater says, I'm over it. Good. It literally says over it. And she's not even in her phone. She doesn't want her phone. She doesn't want the cup. She's over it. She's totally over it. All right, so you have the Empress under the 4 of Cups. This deck has 2 Ten of Swords, and you got them both. That's funny. That's funny. All right, so they're exactly the same. They're both on their phone. It's the same image. It's just the text that's different. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like this is really your mind about this. It's like, like how I was saying, like, oh, you're taking information, but then you don't make a decision, and so you wait, and then you take in more information, you don't make a decision, and so you wait. It's like this. It's like everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But then you're like, it's not fine. I want change. I want something better. But then you're like, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. And then you're like, it's not. It's like kind of like that. And this could be having to do with either creativity, if you're the creative type. This could have to do with like maybe making creative decisions where you're like, guys, okay, so Mars retrograde, right? Gemini, full moon, boom, bada bing, bada boom. I am re-breaking not just one script, not just one story, but multiple. I mean, I'm blessed though. I have great muses, and all of my like love, sexual, romantic energy is all going into my screenwriting. So I feel extremely blessed to be me. So, if you've had any sort of creative blocks, for instance, you might have a great muse, or you might have some inspiration coming through, and it'll help keep. It's almost like you were like, you know what? It's almost like, okay, so whether this is creative blockages, sexual blockages, financial blockages, because the Empress is also finances. This is love. This is attraction. This is heart energy. This is, bringing in what you really want consciously and subconsciously, not consciously thinking you want something and then your subconscious manifests shit or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like this over here, like the Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords was like, I don't like anything. I don't like this idea. I don't like this creative project. I don't like this song. I don't like this band that I'm in. It's almost like this sucks. Like, I don't like it and I don't know what to do. Or, maybe you're like, man, my family fucking sucks. I want to get out of here. Or, I want to move out of my, stepmom's house. Or, it's like something is just, or something's just not been satisfying. Something just has not been filling your cup. And it's like with the Empress this is the overall. So this is like that big picture thing. If this were like a movie, this would be me just telling you in like a second what the story is about, what happened, like, the snapshot of it. So, all right, let's start opening this up. Take a look at the Justice energy, please. What's the message I'm here to deliver? Ooh. Oh, it's the Two of Cups. It's the Two of Cups. Okay, so I see the wavering. I understand. I absolutely understand. People are just, you might be afraid of someone doesn't want something in writing because they don't want someone to use that against them, like a screenshot or something. You could be afraid of getting sued. You could be afraid of being embarrassed or publicly humiliated. You could have been afraid of just simply being disappointed. It feels like there's higher stakes though. It feels like there's like the level of anxiety. It just feels like you couldn't do anything. So you didn't do anything. You're finally, I don't know if you're getting no, you're not getting the last piece of information, because you'll just get spinny with that. You make a decision. And I have great news. You make the right decision. If this is a creative collaborator, if this is, a romantic partner, if this is a business partnership, if this is, you're onboarding, you're hiring, if this is someone you're teaching, someone under your tutelage, if this is something that you're applying for, some kind of, or you're fielding things, or, it's a people thing. It's like vetting the right person. This is interesting because I feel like all this back and forth, like it might be about this person, like a little bit, but it could also be like your MO, your modus operandi, where you maybe don't trust like anyone, or you don't really, and I get that. I understand that. People are not consistent. They're not great consistently. Their characters, it's like oh my God, what does he say in Casablanca? He says, it's Rainer says, "My allegiance blows with the wind." He says something like that. Oh, that movie is filled with such great one-liners. Oh, so funny. So it's like, people, some people are like but it's just like consistency over a long period of time is kind of the most important thing. It really is. So the, because this Two of Cups, this is like a good friend. This is someone that you feel very comfortable with. This is someone that they're just, I don't think I need to have this like quite so close to me. I'm just gonna, okay. But yeah, it's like easy. It's a little easier. What's this Four of Wands? What's this? I mean, it could be a party. If it's a party, this is like a party at home or a celebration at home, or if someone's moving out, you're like, yeah, I have this place back to myself. Or maybe someone's moving in and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. Maybe you guys are getting like, I don't know, pets or something. Or it's gonna be like a wedding, a celebration, that kind of thing. A launch party, a premiere, some kind of like event. It could also be like an event. And it has the Ten of Wands with it. Wow. So, if this is someone moving out, you'd be like, oh my God, get out of my space, please. It's like if someone's moving in, it's like, oh my God, he can't get here. They cannot get here any quicker. I am like, oh my God, you're going to relieve so much stress and pressure. You're going to take a lot of load off. It's going to be easier with you being here. You know what I'm saying? So whatever like this is, if it's like, even if it's like a party or something, it's just going to be a relief. Maybe you've been like grinding it out at work and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to like get it on like Donkey Kong, and you're just like ready to just relax about it. You have like 3 tens here. So speaking of which, what is the everything is fine Ten of Swords? Hmm. 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 Oh my God, it's the Four of Wands. I love when that happens. That's just like, look. And you guys see it. You guys saw it. You guys saw me do it. So look what this looks like now. You've got the 10 and the 4 and the 10 and the 4. So the Four of Wands to clarify the Ten of Swords. This is like relieving a lot of mental pressure for you. This is here's the benefit. Once you make your judgment, you don't go back to the information. You don't go back and collect data. You made the judgment. You made your mind up. You made the decision. Now you relax. There you go. That's better. Now you relax. You made up your mind. Trust yourself making that decision. And then just fucking relax. Guys, we have 1, 2, is it 2? I'm kind of sad about this. We only have 2 weeks left of Jupiter and Pisces until like 2188 with this energy. I don't know if you're going to be here when that happens, but honestly, you guys, this is just, it's so magical and it's so beautiful with the Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces. Like, to not ever have that again in our lifetimes, like whatever age you are right now, like milk it, okay? Whatever's going on in your life, that Pisces area of your life, like really, because Mercury's going to go in the shadow on Monday the 12th. Mercury's going to go retrograde on the 29th of the month. So, it's like that new moon's going to be great, but it's like, I just feel like to manifest or to really like just try to get the most out of this stuff, okay? Because it's very rare. And here's the thing, like if you are, what's an easy Jupiter and Pisces? I usually pick the angles, like like a Pisces or a Virgo or like the mutable signs. So if you have Jupiter and Pisces in your first house and your 7th house and your 4th house and your 10th house, especially, to have this kind of like really, you can just surpass everything. And also, if you guys are into like film and or modeling or television, incredible, incredible. Like just get the most out of it, honestly. Milk it, milk it, milk it. Believe in yourself, believe in the possibilities. If you guys are Pisces, Sun, Moon, Risings, believe in yourself and surprise yourself and challenge yourself to just think more of yourself and to go further beyond your own limits because you can. If you have Pisces on your fourth house, the home life and your feelings, your emotional seat of security is never going to be this like far reaching, the ability to actually get something really, really far out and bring it into your heart and bring it into your solidification of your, like your faith in your feelings, your faith in yourself to nurture yourself and take care of yourself. It's just not going to be the same. And family, like your actual family relation, not going to quite be as inspiring and forgiving and faith being propped up with the strength of faith and spiritual strength. You watch all the movies that we admire and that win Oscars. What do we really care about is the human spirit, having to drive the physical human meat suit body and overcoming obstacles. Okay, you watch a movie because it's a hero fighting through obstacles to achieve their goals. What helps them? It's the spirituality. That's what we want to see. Not, it's hard to convey that in film, so that's why you watch movies, because you see stuff happening. Okay, and that's why we have obstacles. So it's the same thing with like living life. And you're using this Jupiter and the Neptune to believe that you can overcome and push through the obstacles, and you can. So if you've been using this to be like fear spiraling and paranoid and hypochondriac and like in drugs and alcohol, you've been wasting it. You know, if you have Pisces on your seventh house, I'm not saying you're never going to meet anyone ever again. I'm saying that relationships and partnerships will never be as this inspiring. You will never be as inspired right now. I mean, not right now. There were these periods, but like you have 2 weeks left. Like here's the thing. Get as much as you can out of the actual transit until the 20th. And then after that, I want you to just meditate and really replay how that feeling feels so that you don't forget it, so that you don't lose the magic. You'll lose the magic if you just like put your focus in other things in other areas, and you lose what this transit has really given you because it's a feeling. This is not necessarily like super, well, it was, but I'm not going to get into the whole history of the transits. But, you know, that's going to be why, for instance, if you're that Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, it doesn't mean that you're never going to meet anyone ever again. It just means that the way you can open up to believe, not just in other people, but how you show up in relationships, is the strongest right now, these last couple weeks. So you remember, if you're being inspired, unless your partners are like drug addicts or they're mentally ill or they're like nefarious and they're deceptive and they're like, you know, all the low vibrational Pisces energy, or, you know, really like two-faced or like not what they seem for the negative. But otherwise, your partner should have been, and they should be super inspirational or really loving or really creative, super creative or spiritual, you know. So, but like remember that, because maybe you meet someone, maybe you've got a great transit coming up for you in a couple years, and you'll need this feeling as part of the information that you're taking in about the person you're going to meet 10 years from now or whatever. You don't forget what this feels like, so you don't blow it when you actually like meet your person, or you actually you know, because transits will come and go, but did you make the most out of it? Because what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing like the threads of the energies. Like, this is why I got this deck, by the way, is because this is what life looks like to me, okay? And if any of you just like let your vision relax, all those squigglies are, that's energy in motion. So it like actually looks like this. See how it's like, actually there's probably, this one's really nice. This one has a star. So Yeah, this is definitely like finally making up your mind about some kind of living situation, home situation, or um, you're celebrating, like you're really happy with what your decision is. What's this death and the Ace of Wands? But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I know it's a full moon, it's conjuncting Mars retrograde, and people are driving crazy, talking crazy, and like getting into arguments, and they're not new. They're things that have been issues and been problems, and it's coming up to be resolved. And this is you pushing through in the right way to fix something that you didn't fix before. I get it, totally get it, but that's the energy we have for the last couple of weeks of Jupiter and Pisces. So it's got to mean something. That's too much. That's, oh, all right, we're going to take it. I'm real. Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands, ooh, the Five of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Three of Pentacles. Clearly, a lot in your life is not everyone's going to go with you in this adventure and this new, fresh stuff. I'm sure part of the things you were like maybe thinking about or worried about, some of you will have people that you know are not going to receive your decision very well, or they're not going to be able to adapt to your changes in your life that you're making. Like some of you know that, and then some of you are going to be very shocked when you do like say like, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm doing. You're going to be shocked by the pushback and you know people showing you that they're not supportive. So some of you will expect that, and you're right, and you're going to get over that. And some of you are not going to expect it, and you're, you know, it'll be a little bit deflating, but that's going to free you up. It does show like it is going to feel like a little bit of like a wow, it doesn't have to be this way. We could have just like, you could have just been happy for me and we could have just like had a blast. But you're like, you're off to the races. Once you do bring the judgment down and bring the sort of truth down and just trust yourself and let go of thinking about it, that's the point of making the decision. So you don't have to think about it anymore. That's a Taurus thing. The Tauruses take forever to make up their mind. But once they do, they're not budging. You cannot, and they do it really well. This is why I'm telling you this. They do it well, and they don't think about it again. They don't have to question because they went through this really long process of thinking about it to get to that decision. So by the time they get to this decision, they're fixed. So they don't change their minds. And that's the point. The point is to continue fixed energy, status quo. Let's just keep pushing this forward. Let's just keep going on as we've always gone on. So of course, one of the things is the fixed signs: Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, that we get into ruts, and you need to open up to new information and update your decision. And so there's resistance to that, but we're not spiraling here. We're just talking about you. So this looks really great. It looks like even like a new financial entrepreneurial thing that you're doing, and it looks like it's going to be wildly successful. There might even be like, if this is a product, this is like you found the perfect people or the perfect person to trust. I don't know if this is like a collaboration or maybe like a family business. You're letting someone in the family business, but I don't know if they're actually going to be family. I don't know. But anyway, it's almost like there could be something really, oh my God, I don't have my book here, but I'm reading this book right now, and talking about Thomas Edison, and apparently he like he wouldn't eat, and his wife would have to hide, like she would put food in these little spots around his laboratory where she knew that he would find it for him to eat. So once I read that, this is a book I read before, so I'm rereading it. But once I reread that, I just immediately saw all the places like in my life where someone would not hide, but like put food, like little snacks, little schnackers in my little Natalee spots where like my concentration of energy is for me to find it. I thought that was so sweet. Anyway, but yeah, there could be something like very inventive or new and different about this. So it looks great. Let's get your Moonology. Any guidance for my people? Ooh. For some of you, this is like, you don't want to take a risk. You're really worried and like very fear of, like, you want to mitigate risk to zero is the whole point. So there's something about this where, remember in the beginning when I was like, oh, you don't want someone to screenshot something. You don't want to put something in writing. You don't want someone to use this against you. You don't want to get sued. You don't want to be retaliated against. And I understand that, you know, because people are not consistent. They're not good consistently. They are not integrous. They don't have integrity consistently. They're moods. They're, you know what I'm saying? Watch The Godfather, the first Godfather, and actually the first two Godfathers, for some subconscious like downloads and downloading for more on that. Like learning about people, like I get it. Michael Corleone understood it too. And I know that you guys also love those movies too, so you guys get it too. I totally get it. So I'm gonna say look for the consistency. Look for the consistency over long periods of time. That's the only thing that you can really trust. Okay. So that I feel like is gonna help someone with taking some kind of risk. And then some of you won't have why do we keep doing that? And some of you won't have a choice. Doors will close and it'll be like very clear to the universe. It's like, I guess I'm going over here. Thank you. Full moon in Taurus, and I was talking about you guys today. Your dreams need a practical plan. Once you make up your mind, you can do that. Once you make up your mind, you will be able to, can you see it? There you go. Your dreams into, once you actually do it, my bony little hand, your dreams into practical plan. Once you make up the decision, then you'll be able to move on and don't think about the decision anymore. You already made that decision. Now move on to the next thinking, what you're going to think about next, and make the plans, you know? A new start is coming, new moon energy. So yeah, this is like another wrap up spread, I feel like, where we're just like wrapping this up, this whole thing. So yeah, you're closing all this out, getting ready for your new start. It's gonna be great. Now I'm really like 𝚑𝚗𝚗𝚘. Love you guys. Take very good care. Until next time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful headstones.